Before Jamie Dornan was known for his brooding roles in The Fall and 50 Shades of Grey, he was a struggling actor trying to land his first major gig. But according to longtime friend and fellow actor Charlie Cox, Dornan's striking good looks might have actually been holding him back in the early days of his career. In a recent interview, Cox revealed a candid moment he shared with Dornan during their early days as aspiring actors in London. Both were part of a tight-knit group of friends that included Andrew Garfield, Eddie Redmayne, and Robert Pattinson, actors who would later become Hollywood A-listers. Despite their shared talent and ambition, Cox couldn't help but notice that Dornan's model looks sometimes worked against him. "I remember saying to Jamie, 'You're too good-looking, mate.' That's the problem," Cox admitted, laughing. "I told him, 'You walk into a casting room, and they don't buy it. They don't believe you could possibly be suffering.'" According to Cox, casting directors often gravitate toward actors whose looks feel more relatable or ordinary, particularly for dramatic or emotionally complex roles. "People assume that if you look like Jamie, with that jawline and those eyes, life must have been easy," Cox said. But of course, that's not true. The pair met in the early 2000s while trying to break into the industry, and their friendship has endured through the highs and lows of their respective careers. Cox, best known for his role as Daredevil in the Marvel Universe, said their early days were filled with self-doubt, relentless auditions, and occasional jealousy. "There was always this unspoken competition among us," Cox recalled. "We were all going up for the same roles, crashing on each other's couches, living paycheck to paycheck. But we supported each other too. Jamie and I used to talk about how crazy this business is, how sometimes being too beautiful or too unique can actually be a disadvantage." For Dornan, who had started his career as a successful model for brands like Calvin Klein and Dior, the transition to acting wasn't as seamless as some might assume. People would say, "Oh, he's just a model. He can't act," Cox explained. But Jamie was determined to prove them wrong. He put in the work. He was always serious about his craft. That perseverance eventually paid off. Dornan won acclaim for his chilling portrayal of serial killer Paul Spector in the BBC thriller The Fall, which showcased a darker, more complex side of the actor. He later achieved global fame playing Christian Grey in the 50 Shades trilogy, a role that both leveraged his appearance and gave him space to grow as an actor. Reflecting on their journeys, Cox says he's proud of what Dornan has accomplished, and the criticism he once jokingly shared now serves as a badge of honor. "It's funny looking back," Cox said. "At the time, we were just trying to figure it out. I'm glad Jamie didn't listen to me." Cox and Dornan's friendship remained strong, and both actors have continued to carve out successful, diverse careers. While their paths have been different, the bond forged through years of struggle and shared dreams still connects them. "Talent wins out in the end," Cox concluded, "but sometimes it just takes the world a little longer to see it, especially when they're distracted by a perfect face."